In a significant diplomatic shift, Israel has assumed the presidency of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance IHRA, a body dedicated to promoting Holocaust education and combating anti-Semitism globally. This transition was warmly welcomed by the U.S. Embassy in Israel, underscoring the importance of remembrance in the fight against hate and intolerance. The U.S. Embassy emphasized that Israel's leadership in this role is crucial not only for preserving the memory of the Holocaust but also for fostering a deeper understanding of its implications in today's world. The IHRA, established in 2000, plays a vital role in promoting Holocaust education and remembrance among its member countries. With Israel at the helm, there is a renewed focus on enhancing educational initiatives and creating comprehensive strategies to combat anti-Semitism, which has seen a troubling resurgence in recent years. The U.S. Embassy's statement conveyed hope that Israel's presidency would invigorate efforts to ensure that the horrors of the Holocaust are never forgotten and that the lessons learned continue to guide future generations. In a statement, the U.S. ambassador to Israel remarked, "Israel's leadership in the IHRA is a testament to its commitment to preserving the memory of the Holocaust and ensuring that we all stand against the forces of hatred and division." This sentiment is echoed by various global leaders who recognize that Holocaust education is not just about remembering the past but also about shaping a future where such atrocities are prevented. The appointment comes at a time when many countries are grappling with rising anti-Semitism and other forms of hate. In recent years, incidents of violence and discrimination against Jewish communities have surged, prompting calls for stronger collective action. As Israel takes on this pivotal role, it is expected to leverage its unique historical and cultural perspectives to lead initiatives that promote tolerance, understanding, and human rights. The impact of Israel's presidency on the IHRA will likely extend beyond educational programs. It is anticipated that Israel will advocate for increased international cooperation in combating hate, fostering dialogue among nations to address the root causes of anti-Semitism. The global community is watching closely as Israel's leadership may serve as a catalyst for renewed commitments to Holocaust education and a more robust collective stance against hate speech and actions. As Israel embarks on this important journey, the implications are profound. The hope is that under Israeli leadership, the IHRA will not only enhance Holocaust remembrance but also contribute to a broader dialogue about tolerance and respect for all cultures and communities. Moving forward, the success of this initiative will depend on the collaboration of member states and their willingness to engage in meaningful discussions about the past, present, and future of humanity's shared history. In conclusion, Israel's presidency of the IHRA marks a critical moment in the ongoing fight against anti-Semitism and the promotion of Holocaust education. The international community awaits the strategic initiatives that will emerge under its leadership, with the hope that these efforts will lead to a more inclusive and understanding world where the lessons of history serve as a guide for future generations. In a series of significant decisions impacting U.S. Defense Operations, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has taken bold steps that signal a new direction for military policy under the current administration, as the Pentagon seeks to navigate a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape. Hegseth's recent initiatives reflect both a commitment to transparency within the Department of Defense (DoD) and a re-evaluation of cyber strategies in light of ongoing tensions with Russia. On March 3, 2025, Hegseth directed all civilian employees within the DoD to prepare concise reports detailing their weekly work accomplishments. In a memorandum, he emphasized the importance of these submissions, which are to consist of 5 bullet points summarizing their achievements. This directive is part of an effort to enhance accountability and communication within the department as it aligns with requirements from the Office of Personnel Management (OPM). Our civilian patriots who dedicate themselves to defending this nation are critical to our national security, Hegseth stated in a video address. He underscored that these reports would help the department maintain focus on its core mission under President Trump's leadership. However, the directive comes amid a backdrop of shifting cyber operations. Just days later, reports emerged that Hegseth has paused offensive cyber operations against Russia, a move that has raised eyebrows among national security experts. The decision, which does not extend to cyber efforts by other agencies like the CIA or the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency (CISA), marks a notable rollback of the Pentagon's strategies designed to counter foreign cyber threats. An anonymous U.S. official confirmed the pause, although the rationale behind it remains unclear. Critics are concerned that this pause could leave the nation vulnerable to increasing cyber aggression from adversaries such as Russia and China. Experts are already voicing concerns about the implications of halting offensive cyber operations. Cybersecurity specialist Snell Antony warned, "We are entering an era of cyber-enabled economic warfare at the nation-state level," emphasizing that the balance of power in cyber warfare is shifting rapidly. Antony's insights resonate with those of CIA Director John Ratcliffe, who previously highlighted the necessity of offensive capabilities in the cyber domain. The pause in operations, coupled with reductions in FBI efforts and other counter-digital security programs, may embolden adversaries to escalate their cyber tactics, posing heightened risks to U.S. national security. The administration's timing raises questions about its broader strategic intentions. Some speculate that the pause in cyber operations might be tied to ongoing diplomatic discussions between the U.S. and Russia, particularly concerning the contentious situation in Ukraine. Yet without official clarification from the White House, uncertainty looms over the future trajectory of U.S. cyber policy. As the administration grapples with these challenges, the dual focus on internal reporting and external cyber operations presents a complex landscape for the Department of Defense. The push for accountability within the DoD reflects a desire to strengthen the civilian workforce's role in national defense, while the pause on offensive operations signals a cautious approach to foreign cyber engagements. Looking ahead, it will be crucial to monitor how these developments unfold. The balance between promoting transparency within the department and maintaining robust defenses against cyber threats will likely shape the future of U.S. military strategy. With adversaries becoming increasingly sophisticated in their cyber tactics, the decisions made in the coming weeks and months will be pivotal in determining the effectiveness of America's national security posture. In a turbulent turn of events within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services (HHS), Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has come under fire for his ambiguous stance on vaccination during a measles outbreak that has now claimed the life of an unvaccinated child in Texas. The controversy surrounding Kennedy's leadership and recent public statements has sparked significant concern among health experts and lawmakers, intensifying discussions about public health policy in a country still reeling from the impact of vaccine misinformation. As measles cases in Texas surged to at least 158, with several individuals hospitalized, Kennedy's response has been scrutinized. On February 26, during a cabinet meeting at the White House, he appeared to downplay the severity of the situation, suggesting that outbreaks are not unusual and attributing a death toll that misrepresented the facts. Subsequently, he published an editorial in Fox News, where he asserted that the measles, mumps, rubella MMR vaccine is crucial, yet framed vaccination as a personal choice. This language has drawn pointed criticism for seemingly appeasing anti-vaccine sentiments rather than unequivocally endorsing vaccination as a necessary public health measure. Dr. Umesh Adalja, a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, remarked, "While he kind of gives some lip service to the vaccines, the fact that he used phrases like personal choice is a wink and a nod to the anti-vaccine movement. They know he's their man." This sentiment is echoed by pediatricians and public health experts who have expressed alarm over Kennedy's failure to firmly advocate for vaccination, contrasting sharply with the unequivocal messaging from previous administrations. Kennedy's editorial also controversially highlighted the role of vitamin A in treating measles. Despite the fact that health experts caution against relying on it as a substitute for vaccination. While vitamin A supplementation can be beneficial in specific contexts such as in malnourished populations in developing countries, its promotion in the U.S. could mislead parents into thinking it is an adequate alternative to the MMR vaccine. Relying on vitamin A instead of the vaccine is not only dangerous and ineffective, but it puts children at serious risk, warned Dr. Sue Cressley, president of the American Academy of Pediatrics. As the situation unfolds, the backlash against Kennedy's approach has been swift and severe. Senator Elizabeth Warren articulated the urgent need for clarity on vaccine policy, condemning Kennedy's rhetoric as irresponsible and reckless. The implications of his leadership extend beyond the immediate crisis as the U.S. grapples with a challenging flu season and the looming threat of avian influenza, which further underscores the critical importance of robust vaccination strategies. Kennedy's term has already been marked by controversial decisions, including the cancellation of meetings with influenza experts and a reevaluation of contracts with vaccine manufacturers. His past associations with the anti-vaccine movement, particularly as the founder of the Children's Health Defense, have placed him at the center of a heated debate about the future of public health in America. In light of these developments, the immediate future of U.S. vaccine policy remains uncertain. Health experts continue to advocate for clear science-based communication regarding vaccinations, particularly in light of rising public health threats. As the nation watches closely, the hope is that the response to this outbreak will pivot towards a renewed commitment to preventive health measures, prioritizing the safety and well-being of all Americans. In a significant development regarding the highly publicized Jeffrey Epstein case, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi recently announced that the FBI has delivered a substantial volume of documents related to Epstein, which she described as a truckload of evidence. This delivery comes in response to mounting pressure from the Justice Department and public outcry for transparency regarding Epstein's extensive network of associates and activities. During an appearance on Fox News with host Sean Hannity, Bondi revealed that she had imposed a deadline on the FBI to provide all relevant documents by 8 a.m. on Friday, following what she characterized as a disappointing initial release of materials. She stated, "I gave the FBI a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. So we got them all by Friday at 8 a.m. This announcement marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing scrutiny of Epstein's connections, particularly as the public and lawmakers alike are clamoring for clarity on the identities and potential involvement of various high-profile individuals. Bondi expressed her shock at the limited scope of the previous document releases, asserting, "You're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files." Her comments suggest that many vital records had previously been withheld, raising questions about the FBI's handling of the investigation. She emphasized that a detailed report explaining why these documents were initially kept from the public is forthcoming and reiterated the need for transparency, declaring, "The public has a right to know." Critics of the earlier document rollout, including Representative Anna Paulina Luna, expressed frustration, highlighting that the initial release merely encompassed Epstein's contact information and other already known details rather than new substantive revelations. "This is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment," Luna responded, echoing the sentiments of many who expected more significant disclosures. Bondi's commitment to expedite the review of the new documents underscores the urgency of the matter, as she stated, "We're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein." She acknowledged that while the Justice Department is keen on releasing information, certain redactions will be necessary, particularly for items related to national security and grand jury information. The recent developments also come amid broader political tensions, with Bondi hinting at concerns regarding the Biden administration's transparency on the issue. She remarked, "Sadly, these people don't believe in transparency," suggesting a rift between her office and the current administration regarding the handling of Epstein-related documents. As the investigation unfolds, the implications of the newly released evidence could resonate across various sectors, potentially implicating numerous influential figures who were previously associated with Epstein. With Bondi at the helm, there is a renewed hope for accountability and justice for the victims involved in this harrowing saga. Looking ahead, the release of these documents may not only provide closure for victims and their families, but also set the stage for future legal and political ramifications as more details about Epstein's connections come to light.
The anticipation surrounding the next steps in the investigation reflects a critical moment in the pursuit of justice.
And many are watching closely to see how this will unfold. In a rapidly evolving economic landscape, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has emerged as a pivotal figure in the current administration's push to reshape financial policies aimed at benefiting American families. In a recent interview, Bessent highlighted the administration's dual focus on lowering interest rates and navigating the complexities of international trade relationships, particularly in light of new tariffs imposed on key trading partners. Bessent has asserted that the administration's economic strategies are designed to enhance the living standards of everyday Americans, particularly those in the lower half of the income bracket who have been disproportionately affected by soaring interest rates over the past 2 years.
One of the biggest wins for the American people since Election Day and since inauguration, mortgage rates have come down dramatically, he noted.
Referencing a recent drop in 30-year mortgage rates to an average of 6.76%, down from highs not seen since the last administration.
This decline is seen as a critical step in alleviating the financial pressure faced by homeowners and potential buyers alike.
Despite the positive trajectory in mortgage rates, Bessent faces challenges as his administration rolls out new tariffs ranging from 10% on Chinese imports to 25% on goods from Canada and Mexico. These measures have already led to significant fluctuations in the stock market, particularly affecting the tech-heavy Nasdaq index, which saw a nearly 2% drop after the tariffs took effect.
However, Bessent is unfazed, asserting that the long-term benefits of rebalancing trade relationships will outweigh short-term market volatility.
We have a focus on small business and consumers, he emphasized,
suggesting that the administration is prepared to withstand initial investor unease.
Bessent's confidence extends to his belief that the tariffs will not lead to increased costs for American consumers. With the China tariffs, I am highly confident that the Chinese manufacturers will eat the tariffs, prices won't go up, he stated, encouraging optimism that the trade adjustments will ultimately benefit domestic production. He cited Honda's decision to relocate production from Mexico to Indiana as emblematic of a broader trend toward reshoring jobs in response to the tariffs. In addition to trade, Bessent is advocating for a reduction in regulatory burdens, which he claims have driven up costs for essential goods, housing, and insurance. He is pushing for significant deregulation in banking and energy production, including a focus on nuclear power and fossil fuels,
to foster a more competitive economic environment.
If we can cut that red tape and bring it down, then that's an excellent start on affordability, he remarked, indicating that such measures would not only lower costs but also enhance U.S. energy export capabilities. As the administration navigates these intricate challenges, the focus remains on supporting the American populace amidst uncertainties in the market and global trade. The interplay between tariff policies, mortgage rates, and regulatory changes underscores a bold economic agenda aimed at fostering growth and stability.
Looking ahead, Bessent's strategies will be closely monitored as stakeholders assess their effectiveness in revitalizing the economy and improving the financial well-being of families across the nation.
With a commitment to balancing immediate concerns with long-term objectives, the administration is poised to make significant strides in reshaping the American economic landscape. In a period marked by economic uncertainty and rising tariffs, the Trump administration is unveiling ambitious plans aimed at reshaping the U.S. economy. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick recently articulated a vision that intertwines President Trump's tariff-heavy policies with a promise of revitalized manufacturing and reduced government spending's impact on economic metrics. However, this strategy has raised eyebrows among economists and analysts alike as it appears to challenge conventional economic theory. Lutnick's comments came during a time when the markets exhibited signs of strain following the introduction of a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico and a doubling of tariffs on Chinese goods to 20%. He framed these tariffs as a necessary measure in what he described as a drug war aimed at halting the influx of fentanyl from China, rather than a traditional trade war.
This is a drug war, not a trade war, Lutnick asserted in an interview with CNBC.
Despite the administration's optimistic outlook, many economists are skeptical of the broader implications of such tariffs. The worry is that while these policies aim to bolster American manufacturing and reduce the federal deficit, they may inadvertently raise consumer prices and jeopardize jobs.
Lutnick dismissed these inflation concerns as mere whining and complaining, suggesting that the long-term benefits would outweigh any short-term price increases. He claimed that the tariffs could lead to a drastic reduction in interest rates and tax cuts for American citizens, stating, "We're going to bring back production of enormous amounts of things and make America a manufacturing center again." However, experts caution that the administration's economic goals may be internally inconsistent. Chad Bown,
a researcher at the Peterson Institute for International Economics, pointed out that encouraging domestic manufacturing while simultaneously increasing tariffs on foreign goods could paradoxically lead to decreased tariff revenues if consumers shift their purchasing habits to domestically produced items.
What is the real priority?
Because you can't have all those things happen at once, Bown remarked. Adding another layer of complexity to the economic landscape, Lutnick proposed a controversial change in how the government calculates gross domestic product (GDP). He suggested that government spending should be excluded from GDP figures, a move that has raised concerns about potential manipulation of economic data.
In a recent interview, he stated, "You know that governments historically have messed with GDP. They count government spending as part of GDP. So I'm going to separate those two and make it transparent."
This suggestion has alarmed many who fear it could lead to a distortion of economic realities for political gain.
Economists including David Wilcox from the Peterson Institute have expressed alarm that such alterations could undermine the credibility of U.S. economic data, a concern echoed by former chief statistician Nancy Potok.
She highlighted that this could place the U.S. alongside nations notorious for distorting economic statistics to support failing policies.
Furthermore,
as signs of a slowing economy emerge, such as a decline in consumer spending and an uptick in unemployment claims, the potential for political interference in statistical reporting raises significant concerns. While Lutnick's vision for the economy reflects a desire to reinvigorate American manufacturing and reduce reliance on foreign goods, the challenges presented by his proposals are considerable. As the administration moves forward, it faces the dual task of navigating a potentially faltering economy while attempting to implement policies that may not align seamlessly with established economic principles. The coming months will likely reveal whether these strategies can bear fruit or if they will exacerbate existing economic challenges, prompting a reevaluation of the administration's approach. As the landscape evolves, both businesses and policymakers will be watching closely, relying on accurate data and analysis to inform their decisions in an increasingly complex economic environment.